Rio de Janeiro. Every gymnast survived the Olympic women's vault finals here on Sunday, one landing her vault of death, one living to tell about her own extreme effort, one with bronze, one with silver, and Simone Biles with yet another gold. Biles, the teenage gymnast who anchored the historically dominant US team and destroyed the individual all-around competition last week, won her third medal of the Rio Games on what was probably her most competitive apparatus final, setting herself up for a record haul of 5 gymnastics golds by the time the Olympics are over. Biles qualified for 3 individual events here: vault, balance beam on Monday and floor exercise on Tuesday, but vault was the only one that she hadn't won even once at the Sports World Championships, let alone twice or 3 times. But this time, she landed her Amanar vault and nailed her Cheng vault, both high in difficulty and executed exceptionally well in the 2 summer games since women's gymnastics rewrote its code of points to reward difficulty and execution, which Biles has exploited unlike any other gymnast. The gaps between the gold and silver medalists were 0.108 points and 0.075 points. Biles beat silver medalist Maria Paseka of Russia by 0.703 points and bronze medalist Giulia Steingruber by 0.75 points. It was yet another milestone for the US in these games. No American had won the individual vault in the pre-Biles era of women's gymnastics. Her personal coach, Amy Borman, sensed that was about to change as soon as they walked onto the Rio Olympic Arena's floor. She got a little more giggly, Borman said, and that's usually her thing. The real intrigue Sunday, though, centered around gymnasts who weren't Biles, the first female Indian gymnast ever in the Olympics and the oldest gymnast ever in the Olympics. Both promised to attempt the fierce Supernova, a daring gymnastics element that has been described as a vault of death and drawn comparisons with the fictional but decapitating Iron Lotus from the film Blades of Glory. The Supernova is the single most difficult move in women's gymnastics. Biles is a ferocious vaulter whose elements had difficulty scores of 6.3 and 6.4, the highest of any other completed maneuvers on Sunday. But the Supernova difficulty score is a 7. Which was one reason that Biles once again called the vault Crazy Sunday. Oksana Chusovitina, a 41-year-old Uzbek who debuted in the Olympics in 1992 and has outlived countries that she represented, saved their high-risk, high-reward strategy for her second vault. But she failed to land the Supernova, rolling out of it for an execution score of 7.933, the worst of the event's 16 vaults. The only gymnast in the field with a teenage son said she wasn't discouraged by the result. When asked if she would be competing in the Tokyo Games, when she would be 45 years old, Chusovitina was certain in her answer. "Of course," she said. Deepa Karmakar was the next to try the Supernova. Karmakar, the Olympics' first female Indian gymnast, had said that she practiced the Supernova about 1,000 times in the last 3 months, and she executed it well enough in last week's qualifying to earn the final spot in Sunday's competition. She was even better this time. Karmakar landed the Supernova, first on her feet, then on her butt, then back to her feet. It was enough for an average combined score of 15.066 points, which stuck Karmakar in 4th place, only 0.15 points out of a medal. "My target is gold for life," she said while enveloped by the Indian media afterward. The chatter that will only become louder in these Olympics is whether the 19-year-old Biles wants to compete in Tokyo, too. Biles and her camp have said that she hasn't thought about it yet, but she allowed Sunday that it's possible. She almost certainly wouldn't be showing off a Supernova there. If there is one gymnast who could tame the Supernova, which is named after Russia's Elena Supernova, the first to land it, the consensus in the world of women's gymnastics is that it would be Biles. But she has consistently declined the Supernova advances and reiterated that stance on Sunday. As it turns out, though, there was a brief time when Biles did consider adding the Nova to her unstoppable arsenal. Months ago, Biles was struggling with her Cheng vault so much that she resorted to practicing the Nova into a foam pit, Borman said last week. But not even Biles, who may be the greatest women's gymnast of all time, wanted to make it a regular part of her routine. She was like, "No, I think it'll be easier for me to just fix my Cheng," Borman said. She was proven right Sunday. Biles was the last gymnast to perform, and by her second vault, she knew what she needed for gold, a mediocre 14.7 points. Instead, she asked her Cheng for 16.033 points. It was the highest score of anyone in the